The invitations had gone out months before. Thick envelopes sealed with care, every detail chosen with love. The cream paper, the gold lettering, the little flourish that made my fiancée smile. It wasn't just paper. It was a promise, a celebration, the day our families would come together to witness the life we were about to build. I imagined laughter, clinking glasses, hugs that bridged old wounds. My parents sitting in the front row, my brother clapping me on the back. For once, I thought my family would stand with me. But 3 weeks later, everything shattered with a single post. My brother announced a backyard barbecue, casual, loud, full of smoke and beer, set on the exact same day as my wedding. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe the date was a coincidence. Maybe he'd change it when he realized. But the comments rolled in, relatives clicking, going, friend from a neighborhood tagging each other with excitement. And slowly, sickly, it dawned on me this wasn't a mistake. When I called, he brushed me off with a laugh. Don't be so serious. It's just a barbecue. People can choose what they want to do. Chill out. But people did choose. On the morning of my wedding, the seats reserved for my family were empty. My side of the church, a patchwork of strangers and my fiancé's friends, looked like a hollow smile with missing teeth. My father wasn't there to walk me down the aisle. My mother wasn't there to cry tears of joy. My brother wasn't there to clap my shoulder, even in mockery. Not a single cousin. Not an uncle. Not an aunt. They had all gone to the barbecue. I smiled for photos, held my bride's hand steady as we said vows, and danced under twinkling lights like nothing was wrong. But inside, my heart twisted with a grief I couldn't explain. I wasn't just abandoned. I was erased. My wedding, the moment that should have bound us together, became the proof that I had no family left. It wasn't until 2 days later, when we returned from a brief honeymoon, that my phone buzzed with the message. Call me. Urgent. It was my mom. For a second, hope sparked. Maybe she regretted it. Maybe she wanted to apologize. My wife squeezed my hand, urging me not to answer. But I did. I needed to hear it. Her voice was calm. Too calm. We need you to come by, she said. It's important. When I arrived at their house, my brother was sprawled on the couch, still grinning like the king of his backyard kingdom. My parents sat across from me, their faces grave, rehearsed. We need to talk about the house. My mom began. You know your brother is taking over most of the family responsibilities. He's been helping us more, so we decided. I didn't even hear the rest. The words blurred into a buzzing in my ears. They hadn't called me because they regretted missing my wedding. They hadn't called because they wanted to make things right. They had called because they wanted something. Because to them, I wasn't a son anymore. I was leverage. I stood, shaking, every ounce of bitterness rising in me. You didn't even come to my wedding. I whispered. Not even you, Mom. Not even you, Dad. And now you want to talk about a house. My brother chuckled from the couch. Guess you picked the wrong day to get married. It was the cruelest sound I'd ever heard. I left their house without another word, the door slamming shut behind me. I thought the tears would come, but they didn't. There was only silence. That night, lying beside my wife, I realized something painful and freeing at once. Family isn't blood. It isn't shared last names or houses passed down. Family is who shows up when it matters. Family is who chooses you, even when it's inconvenient. On the most important day of my life, my blood family had chosen someone else's smoke-filled backyard over me. But in that empty church, surrounded by the people who did show up, my wife's parents, her siblings, her friends, I had been given something better, a new family, a family that wanted me. My mother's text had been urgent, but not for me. It was urgent for what they could take, what they could claim. I never called her back. And in the quiet, I finally understood that sometimes betrayal isn't loud. Sometimes it's not screaming or slammed doors. Sometimes it's silence, empty chairs, a barbecue where your family laughs while you say, I do, to the love of your life. And sometimes the only way to heal is to stop waiting for an apology that will never come, and to start building a life with the people who never needed to be asked to show up, because they already did.